Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, To the Moms. We are your hosts, Kathy and Amaris. Today we are going to talk about having little to no village.
Yes. And I know in the first episode, we briefly talked about this, how we only have our husbands to depend on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And
And how motherhood can be very lonely, especially if you don't live near family or
yep.
friends, and you're just figuring it out on your own with
hmm
your, significant other if you have one, or you may not. But it's regardless, it's fucking hard, man.
It's hard. And then for me, I feel like it's harder. Like, not only do I feel lonely being a stay-at-home mom, because I feel like people judge and don't understand, but being a mother of an autistic child, I feel even more lonely. Like, I feel like I'm like down on the
Yeah, of
scales, like,
course.
damn, like no one understands I have to be a stay-at-home mom because of
Because
my son is autistic and I want the best for him, and like now it's the time
like
to
they
put
don't
in all
get
the
it
work.
unless they've been there. Yeah.
Right. Or like they specifically work with parents and families who have children on the spectrum. Like they just
Hmm.
don't get it, you
Yeah,
know?
or there are people, they may not even be educated, you know,
Right. And they don't
and that must be
understand.
hard for you too. Yeah.
It is. Sometimes it's hard. Like I don't even like waste my breath on people that want to make like dumb comments. I'm like, you know what? If there's one thing my
Not
husband
even
has
worth
taught
it.
me while being a stay-at-home mom, it's don't even respond to stupidity. Just let people look
Hmm.
stupid. Like just don't, because it's gonna make you feel worse stooping down to like their level than just being the bigger person and just being like, okay, like that's how you feel, that's fine, and just walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, just being the bigger person, really,
Yeah. Just
for
going on that
sure. Okay.
little, expanding on that little rant. Like, so
Hmm.
in the first episode, I talked about how July of like 2020, in like the middle of the pandemic, I became a stay at home mom, and I also was
Hmm.
pregnant. So going through like pregnancy, going through the suspicions of my son Thane being autistic, I felt so lonely. I didn't really talk about it with people because how, like, again, how do you like bring that up? So it was hard. And then just kind of getting his diagnosis, Cirilla is born, and no one really reaches out to you. You know, it's always like, I'm
Hmm.
so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to be like their aunt or their uncle, or can they call me aunt and uncle? And it's like crickets. They're here, they're born, and you're not visiting. Like some people that I thought that would constantly text me asking for pictures, asking how I'm
Hmm.
doing, asking how the babies are doing, crickets. Family, friends, it sucks. It makes you kind of
I know.
see how people truly are just so self-absorbed with their own lives. You
It's
know?
it's so sad.
It's so sad because like you grew up with like
Hmm.
cousins. I grew up with my cousins. My cousins barely like reach out to me. I love them to death.
Yeah.
And I
I was.
understand that they're busy with their lives, busy trying to build
Yeah,
up their
we're all
career.
busy.
We're
Yeah.
all busy, but it would have been nice when I became a
Hmm.
first time mom if I would have gotten a text like, "Hey, how are things?
Right.
How are you?"
Hmm.
Um, send pictures or just something. And I feel like things also took a turn for the worse when the pandemic happened because we were all scared. So I like used the
Right. Of
pandemic
course.
as like an excuse, like why people weren't reaching out to me, because I think people tend to
Hmm.
forget
Yeah.
I had a baby, I got married, pandemic happened, you know?
Hmm.
And just like the lack of reaching out really like sucked. But like
I could totally relate to that.
yeah, you know, like it truly sucked.
Did it happen did it happen later on, or like when you had Cirilla, did people reach out after you had her and
Even
checked
with
in to see how you were doing?
no, even after Cirilla,
Wow.
Like, so people weren't reaching out to me. There was only really two people constantly reaching out to me. And that was my best friend that I talked to on like a daily basis. And then my cousin,
Yeah.
because she was also pregnant along with me. So
Mhm.
we would always like text each other
Okay.
what our symptoms were, how we were doing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I mean, my cousin stopped texting me after a while because she is so busy with with all of her children that she like has.
Right.
And then I'm trying to think. And I think at one point you and I like started talking like almost on like a daily basis. I think in the
Oh yeah, and
middle.
I'll cover that
Yeah.
part because I did
Yeah.
put that as one of my points, and
Yeah.
I specifically remember exactly like the moment that you and I started like becoming close
Yeah. I think it was like
and talking on it.
summer of like what 2021. I forget, but again, it was like in the
Yeah.
middle of the pandemic.
Are we still in a pandemic?
I think it's technically over. I think they like announced it. I forget when they announced it, but they announced that we're pretty much over. Masks aren't like required at places, but like
Mm.
businesses can request you to still wear a mask. I don't know, something like that.
Oh,
Something like
okay.
that. Yeah, I don't know if you've been going to like doctor's appointments, but they stopped asking you about like COVID.
They stopped.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
it's no
Even as
longer.
a pediatrician.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's because it's no longer a thing anymore. It's a thing of the
It's so
past.
weird.
I know it is weird.
Yes,
It feels
thank
like
God.
years ago. Like I feel
It
like
feels like, yes, that, and it feels like almost like it was a dream.
yeah,
Like
it's weird.
it just, yeah, that time, it was such an odd, weird time, right? Like it,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it
It feels like
definitely was.
it was a dream.
Yeah.
And like, especially like those first 2 years, I feel like they didn't even happen. Like, I don't know.
Right. Right. Well, with me, I know it happened because like I have two kids. They're like
Yes.
here.
Yeah, they're here.
They're like
They're
here.
living, they're breathing.
They're living, they're like breathing. So yeah, even like my sister, and I love my sister to death, but something doesn't click. Like she does not reach out to me ever unless she needs help understanding something or just needs help with something like in general. Doesn't reach out to me, doesn't really like hang out with my kids when we're around. It's almost like she's just whenever she's here or we're like over at my parents' place, it's like, hello, hi. And then she like disappears
Really?
after. Yeah, she does not hang out with my kids, doesn't
Sorry.
get to know them. My kids don't know that that's their aunt. Like they have
Oh
no
my gosh.
idea. Like that's how bad it is. And like
I'm
I
sorry.
remember I like told her, I said, you know, I I actually asked him, I was like, Thane, who is this? He literally looked at her and was like, Grandma? And I was like, that's not
Oh
grandma,
gosh.
that's your aunt.
Yeah.
And I looked at my sister, I was like, you see, my kids don't know who the fuck you are. And I said it just like that. I was like, they
And
don't
what did she
know.
say back?
She just stood quiet because what else is she supposed to say? You know? So it's
Yeah.
just like, I don't feel bad that you're not going to have a relationship with my kids because they don't know what they're missing out. If anything, you're missing out on stuff, you know? So then
I
there's that.
I totally understand. It's almost like I was having this conversation with Blue the other day, and because I have the same issue with his brother.
Mm,
Not once has he reached out to me, "Hey, congratulations on giving birth." He nothing, nothing. He
yeah.
doesn't know anything about Grayson. He's never taken the time to meet him. And I spoke to to Blue about it. He was like, "It's almost like he knows he fucked up, and he feels embarrassed, and
Mm.
he doesn't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's
Like
like,
he doesn't know how to move forward.
right, and I feel like
Right.
that's kind of like with your sister too, where it's
M-
like she's been this way for so long, and it's
Yeah.
like she doesn't know how to,
How to like
you
move
know,
forward. Yeah.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
actually
she's
past
almost kind of accepted for things being the way they are. Does that make
Right.
sense?
No, it does. It does. It's funny that you say that because this past Saturday we were at my aunt's house and all of my cousins
Mm-hmm.
were there. My sister was there, and at some point, like my sister was playing with my children in the pool. And as we were driving home, my husband was like, "Oh, by the way, your sister was playing with the kids." And I was like weirded out at first because I'm like, this never happens.
Like
And I was
what?
like, wow. I was like, maybe she had a good day, or maybe she finally realized. I don't know. But I
Mhm.
also know that my sister likes to live a private life. Like, she doesn't tell me anything about her life. I
Yeah.
find out through things through my mom.
Right.
And I'm just like, and
Oh,
I told my sister that I was like, it shouldn't really be that way. It really should be
it
like,
shouldn't.
hey, how are you? Blah 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 blah. Not just
Yeah.
you're sending me a TikTok on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, girl. You're my sister. You're supposed to be like the second mother to my kids, and like
Yeah.
you're not. It used to hurt me a lot. It doesn't hurt me
I'm sure.
anymore. It
Well,
it
especially
no
now as a
longer
mom
phases
too,
me.
like you just don't. Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you guys have like an estranged? Is that the word? Estranged relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry. And I mean, you guys are kind of close in age too, right?
We are
Or
close
not
in.
really?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, we're in close in age. Like, I'm 30 and she'll be 29 in October. So it's not like we have this huge gap where it's you don't
Yeah.
understand me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, she doesn't reach out to know how her niece and nephew is. So like that sucked. That sucked, I
Of
should
course, because
say.
that's your immediate family.
Right. And like, God forbid if anything happens to me, like, or to like
Yeah.
Abe, like, are you just still not going to reach out to me? You know?
Oh,
So like that sucks because that's my sister and she should be there, and she's not.
I'm
Um
sorry.
but
I wonder if any. I'm sure other people. I'm sure other people go have gone through that, or
I'm
have a
sure.
similar experience. Yeah.
Right. No, I'm sure. I'm sure there's other people who are, in a similar boat as me. But it sucks just
Oh,
not having a village to like be like, I need a break. I'm about to have a
yeah.
mental breakdown. Can you
Right.
please come over and
Hmm.
spend an hour or two with the kids while I just do something to like refill my cup. I know if my best friend was like
Hmm.
closer, she would definitely
Hmm.
like help out. Like she actually came over yesterday with her newborn
Yeah.
baby because I told her, I was like, yo,
Oh.
I am sad as fuck. And like I
Oh.
pretty much what everything I told you, I was like, I'm sad as fuck and I don't know
Hmm.
like why. And I talked to her a lot about it because she does work with families,
Hmm.
that have children on the spectrum. So she gets it. She gets like the
Yeah.
day in, day out the of the stuff that families go through, and I feel comfortable telling her. I've actually felt out of all the friends in the world, she was the one
Hmm.
friend, different stages in my life, she was there.
Yeah.
She was present no matter how pregnant she
That's
was, her
amazing.
difficult pregnancy, her, going through like planning her wedding, and COVID happened, like
Hmm.
all the stressors that happened in her life. But as busy as she is and continues to be, she's there.
She always showed up.
She
Yeah.
always showed up no matter what. And I'm just like,
She's a good one.
I'm like, you're literally my soul sister. And I was like, and you're not going anywhere. Like, you are an
That is
aunt
amazing.
to my kids because you're constantly asking about them. I'm constantly asking about your kids. Like, we're just there for each other. We're just
See
there.
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good that you have that. I wish I don't have that like at all.
Yeah.
I have you, but
Yeah.
I've always wondered what it was like to have a friendship like that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna cry about it because I'm already getting a little teary eyed, but it sucks.
I know.
Like it sucks.
I know,
Okay? I didn't
girl.
think I was gonna cry. uh,
This
yeah,
is
like
real talk.
I had my childhood best friend from high school, but things are just completely different. Like we're in different stages of our lives, and she's met Grayson once. So yeah,
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. That does suck. That sucks.
Hmm. But carry
But
on.
I think,
Carry on, dear.
let me see. Yeah, so besides like family, just like not really checking in. And like, I talk to my husband about this like all the time. And he's like, you have to understand some people aren't like that. Like, some people aren't you. So you have to stop expecting
That's what Boo
people
tells me
to be
too.
like you. But
Yeah,
I'm like, but
like
I don't understand. Like, how can
yeah.
people be like that? Like, I
I know.
just don't understand. So it took like a long time to get over it. I think maybe I don't know. Honestly, I think before I turned 30,
Mhm.
something switched inside my brain where I was
Something
just like,
clicked.
I'm just not going to entertain anything that doesn't fill my cup.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're hurt, if I'm not going to like events or functions that you're throwing, I'm not gonna care. Because at the end of the day, I'm just not gonna always show up for like birthday parties or events and like you call that us hanging out. Like, no,
No, it's not. It's
like that.
not.
I want that quality time. I want
Quality,
us
yeah.
to
A hundred
sit
percent.
down and we're both just conversating about what's going on in our lives and
Yeah.
just feel
And you
safe
don't
and
even have
stuff.
to see each other all the time, but just as long as the
Right.
communication is there,
Right,
you know.
right. Like,
Like
let's
I don't see you ever, but we talk every single day, you know.
right. I don't see my best friend every day,
Yeah.
or I don't see her as much because like she is busy and I am busy too, but I talk to her almost every day. So it's
Yeah.
like it can happen. It's just, are you willing to make that happen? And I used
Exactly.
to be the person, I will always like check in like, "Oh, how are things? I'm thinking about you
Mhm.
guys." And it's very quick like, "Oh, we're good. What about you?" The moment I
Yeah.
stop reaching out, no one else is
Hmm.
reaching out. So
Yeah.
it's like, so I'm just going to stop trying because, okay, fine, you're busy, but then
Hmm.
why does everything have to be so one sided? So for that, I'm just going to stop
100%. Yeah.
reaching out,
Yeah. Stop.
you
Yeah. I
know?
kind of, I reached a point too with that as well.
Hmm.
So I totally get it.
So yeah, I'm thankful that I have my mother in law and she like absolutely
She's the
adores. She
best. We
is
love her.
the best. I mean, she's annoying with all the
Yes.
TikToks she sent us.
Oh, can she stop? If you're listening to this, Thea, can you stop with the TikTok? Stop with
Oh,
the TikToks. I don't even. I'm sorry, Thea. I don't watch them.
I will watch them and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna continue living my life. Like, I'm probably gonna get colon cancer for the amount of deli meat that I eat, and
It's funny. She means well. She
she
means well.
does. She means well because she's very like, guys, we have to stay alive, we have to stay thriving, and this
So
and
that's what
that.
she sends us. She sends us things like, "Don't eat this because cancer," or
It's
it's
just,
so
and
many things.
it's just like, oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, she is the best.
She
She
is.
is a great support system, but we can't always rely on her because she's too is still a
Yeah.
mom. Like, yeah, she's a grandma,
Yeah.
but she's still a
Mm-hmm.
mother to her soon to be
She's a
17-year
young
old
mama.
daughter. Yeah, she was a young
Yeah.
hot mama. But she's still a mom, and having a teenager, they want to go here, they want to go there, so she's her Uber driver. And she literally
Being a
says,
mom to a teenager
"Yo,
is a whole other ball game.
it's a
I
whole
forgot to mention to you guys, I'm a stepmom. Yeah,
oh
totally
yeah."
forgot to mention that. The first two episodes to a 14-year-old. And let me tell you, the minute my stepson turned 14, it's like a switch. He's mean. He's mean to me. He's kind of calmed down. Not though, but but they just want to hang out with their friends. They don't want to
Right.
hang out with us anymore.
They don't. We're not cool. Although,
We're
actually,
not
no,
cool.
I'm still cool. I don't know about you. I'm still cool because your
Joel
cousin
says I'm
and
not cool.
no, the girls tell me that I'm cool.
Really?
They be like, yo, so this shit happened in my school. And I'm like, oh, shit, what happened? What's tea, sis? And they were like, "Da, da, 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 da." I'm like, nah, that's wild. Like no one did that in my school. What are you talking about?
That is so funny.
Yeah, but they
No,
only tell
Joelle
they
tells me all the time, like, you guys are not cool. Stop saying that. That's not cool.
I'm like, yo, Jasmine, what does this mean? She's like, you don't know what that means? I'm like, no, that's why I have you to tell me. And then
You.
she'll tell me, but
Mhm.
like, oh, back in my day, we say this. She's like, no one says that anymore. So stop saying that, please. But yeah, so my mother-in-law, as much as she wants to help us out, like she kind of can't because she works, takes
Mhm.
her daughter to work, takes her daughter to any extra curricular activities, her friend's house, to the mall. So
Yeah.
whenever she
She
has
has
a
a lot on
moment,
her plate.
she has a lot on her plate. But
Mhm.
whenever we do need a break, we'll have to let her know in advance. And like thankfully she kind of knows her work schedule to heart. So
Mhm.
sometimes she's like, well, I can't do this day, but I can do Friday at like 12 or like 3. We're like, we'll take it at this point. We need the
We'll take
break.
it. We'll take it.
We'll take it, sure. No problem.
Mhm.
So she's very helpful when she can be available. So I am thankful for her. Pretty much it's just me and my husband on a daily basis, depending on each other. And like I said on the last, I
Mhm.
believe it was the last podcast, like my husband doesn't sleep because he would rather get it done and making sure that like I'm okay and the kids have everything they need rather
Mhm.
than just continue to like suffer. So I'm very
Right.
grateful I had children with someone that
Shout out to Abe.
shout out to Abe, but I
Shout out
do
to
I
Abe.
do want to give credit to your aunt too because it is entirely on her for the reason why he is the man that he is today.
Oh
It's
yeah.
because
Oh
of
yeah.
her.
Mhm.
100%, like no one can take that from her. Like she mothered her
Oh yeah.
children so well to the point that like I sometimes I'm going like off topic too. So Abraham will
That's a
see
great
like
idea.
how other fathers like parent their children. He's like, I don't understand how some dads aren't like all over their kids, kissing them, hugging them, playing with them. Like I just don't get it. I'm like, that's
Get
because
it.
you got the love. You got the love not
Yeah.
only from your mom, but for your aunt, your mom.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That is
you
true.
guys
I do
got
have to say,
love.
like, both of them,
They
they did. They
love.
did.
They
I
love so
and
hard.
Yeah, my aunt, I mean, she's like my second mom, and
Right.
she's taught me so many life lessons, and she's been there for me through every hardship, every milestone, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she's always, yeah, like you said, like shown us love.
Yeah. So I get upset because I'm like, dang, I wish, what I see in front of my eyes between my mother-in-law and my aunt-in-law, I don't have
Mhm.
that with my sister. So it like hurts
Oh
me
yeah.
that it's like
Damn, I'm about to
I can
cry. This is an
see.
emotional episode.
It's like I can see it. It's a thing. So like why don't I have that?
Yeah.
Or my one of my cousin, her son just turned 1. And the last time that we were over there, her younger sister, they have like a gap. I don't know how large the gap is, maybe like 5 years,
Mhm.
7 years.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, like my sister's son, that's my son. And her dog, that's my dog too. And I'm just like,
Wow.
where did my sister and I go wrong? But
Yeah.
I wanted to end my No Village
Mhm.
vent session with a I don't want to say piece of advice because I feel like that sounds so strong, but like I guess like maybe something to like look out for. I don't know what to call it.
Mhm.
But I encourage like all mothers to find that like one person that constantly checks in on them and just to take that opportunity and build a relationship with them because you never know one day when you're going through the thick of it that
Oh
person's
yeah.
going to be there for you and just hold them tight and hold them close to your heart. I think if I
You
didn't
know, you gave me that
I
advice during
did.
postpartum.
I
Yeah,
did.
I remember.
I did. So that's just one tip,
Mhm.
I'll call it. One tip I think every mother should excuse me, should do because if I didn't have my Blanquita best friend, I
Mhm.
don't know where I would be.
Aw.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Shout
end
shout out
it.
to Jackie.
Shout out to
Shout out
Jackie.
to Jackie. Oh, So I have a lot to say, and I'm probably going to get, I don't know why I'm emotional today. Maybe because I had a therapy session before coming on. So where do I start? So when I went through my first pregnancy, as you know,
Hmm.
um, I had a pregnancy before Grayson, and I lost the baby. I felt almost, I don't know what the word is, like embarrassed, because I felt like I let a lot of people down.
Hmm.
Um, I was pregnant at the same time as a lot of my friends, and I think I was, and
With
you as
us,
well, right?
yeah, yeah, we were.
Yeah. So I was so excited. I'm like thinking, oh, my baby's going to have friends close in age. Like I'm going to have this village. And when I went through that loss, like it was hard because I felt like I let my parents down. They were so excited to be grandparents for the first time. And I don't know. I think what happened is that a lot of people didn't know how to be there for me or like
Hmm.
didn't know what to say.
Right,
It's almost like when someone tells you like, oh, my aunt died or so and so died. You
right,
don't know what to say,
right,
right?
right.
So it's kind of like that. So when I became pregnant with Grayson, um, yes, people were excited for me, and I felt the love during
Hmm.
that pregnancy because Grayson, he's my rainbow baby.
Right,
So I did feel the love, and I felt like people were there. So because of that, I thought people were going to be there once he was born,
right,
and that
yeah.
wasn't the case, unfortunately. I have friends, had friends, I should say, and family who, till this day, have never met Grayson or have only met him once. How sad is that,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so you and I became close. I know you mentioned August 20, but I think it was during my postpartum. I feel like that's
Maybe.
when you and I truly started becoming close. I felt like I didn't have anyone. I was the loneliest I felt my entire life. I felt
Right.
like all of my friends had dropped me. And that was really, really hard to go through. And I'm talking childhood friends too, like people that I thought were going to go through life with me, you know? Yeah, it just sucks. It freaking
Yeah.
sucks. And I also let them know like what I was going through during my postpartum because I'm an open book. Like I'm very
Hmm.
open about my feelings. I haven't always been like that, but in recent years, because of what I went through with my loss, like if someone asks me like something about oh, how many pregnancies you've had, like I always mention Liam. Like I've
Hmm.
always been very open.
Yeah.
So I let people know like, hey, like I am not doing well postpartum. Like some of my friends when they would check in on me,
Hmm.
I was vulnerable to a lot of these people. I let them know that I was going through postpartum depression
Yeah.
and honestly, like no one cared. I feel
That's fucked
that's
up.
how I feel. No
Yeah.
one cared
Hmm.
because if you cared, then you'd be reaching out to me today.
Exactly.
Like, hey, how are you doing? It's almost like people. I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
Right.
It's like they're afraid almost.
Right. Or they're just awkward and they just don't know what to say. But then say
Yeah.
that. Just say, I don't know what to say other than
Hmm.
I'm sorry you're going through that. And if you want to get a cup
Yeah.
of coffee, let's get a
Something,
cup of
right?
coffee. Just something. Yeah.
Just give me the
I
cup of coffee.
Oh my, right. Like I've learned just not to like be an open book to like people because I will like I'm very calculated. I am
You
this
are. And
I'm very
Amaris,
calculated.
I want to be more like I want to be more like that because
Yeah.
sometimes I find that people take advantage of me
Yeah.
um because I'm so open and
Mhm.
vulnerable. And I recently I found that I have to be a little bit just a little bit more guarded and
Yeah.
careful
Mhm.
because people don't always have good intentions,
Right. Right. So I'm
you
very
know?
calculated who I share my feelings with.
Yeah.
And if I feel like
Mhm.
I can't share them with you, I'm like,
Mhm.
done. Nope. You cannot be trusted with me, you know?
No, I got you, girl. Um, yeah. So, anyways, it wasn't until Grayson's birthday, literally that morning, and I remember because I was in the Catskills with Blue and Joel, my stepson, and I thought, nobody gives a shit. Like, wow, nobody gives a shit. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, like only a small handful of people reached out about Grayson. Like no one, like a lot of people in my family did not reach out, and it really broke my heart. And for everyone listening, Amaris and Abraham threw Grayson a surprise birthday party a couple
Yes, we
weeks later,
did.
and it made my entire year. Like I'm not even exaggerating. It like I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Oh,
It
I'm
was
so
so special.
happy. I'm
Like
so
I felt the
happy.
love. I was like, you know what? Like at the end of the day, like these are the people that matter.
Right.
These are the people that are going to stick around. So I felt very, very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, I'm happy you loved it.
it was awesome. So going back to the village part, you know, you mentioned it's just you and Abraham. Same thing.
Hmm.
It's just me and Blue. Like we are the village.
Yeah.
We don't get help all the time. And if you have a husband who works crazy hours, or you know travels for work, then you know how hard it is.
Yeah.
You understand, Amaris, because
Yep.
Abraham, works long hours, especially at night.
Right.
It's hard. They work hard so that we can be stay-at-home moms.
They do.
It is hard.
They do.
Yeah, so I guess like wanted to say like so my parents I wish they were closer, I
Yeah.
think we live close, but we live on opposite sides of the county, so I could understand it's a little bit of a trip sometimes, but
Right.
my dad works a lot, and I wish they could be there more for
Yeah.
Grayson. Like
I
I
get
just feel
that.
like time is going by so fast, and
Hmm.
the memories are like fleeting.
Yeah. No,
Do you feel that way too, like
I
with your
do. With my
parents?
parents, they used to be very, when Thane was first born, they used to visit all the time and like help out. But during the pandemic, my mom brought, a dog, and it's her emotional support
Mm.
dog. And that damn fucking
Oh,
dog, I'm gonna say it, fucking Pepper, gets in the way of
fucking
my
Pepper.
parents bonding with my children, because the
Oh,
puppy
I'm so
has like,
sorry.
she has a disabled paw, like a leg and paw, and she has
Okay.
separation anxiety. And like when they bring the dog over to my house, I don't want that dog walking around. So they literally have to hold their dog. So if my dad's not holding
What?
it, yes, yes, yep,
Girl.
yep. So we don't like for the dog to come here, but it's the only way that both my parents could come here.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
so we
I
have
didn't know
to.
that.
Oh my
I knew they
god.
had a new dog, but I didn't
Yeah.
know it was like that.
Yeah, so
That's
like
why we don't see them anymore.
that's why, because I'm just like, I don't want to invite you, because what's the point? You're just going to be focused on this dog and
Yeah.
not focus on playing with my
What?
children. Yeah. Though I would
What is
say when
that?
we went on vacation together in July, it was great. And you know why it was great?
Hmm.
Because a fucking dog wasn't there.
Who took care
Because
of the dog?
the dog was left for most hours throughout the day because my sister had to work. But the moment my sister came home from
Mm,
work, or my cousin came home from
okay.
work, they went upstairs,
Hmm.
check on the dogs to make sure it was fine. But like the whole time,
Gotcha.
my mom was like checking through the camera. Oh, I don't see the dog. I don't see this.
It
And
almost seems like sorry, this is gonna sound mean, but it almost sounds like your parents are the emotional support
for
people for that. Sorry, that sounds mean. No,
no, but
I feel bad
like
for the dog. But
it's like, oh my god, like you could tell my dad like is like stressed about having this fucking dog, because in
yeah,
his mind he's like, I'm done with dogs. I'm done, you know,
yeah,
parenting little things. But I had to
yeah.
get this for my wife because during the pandemic, she was
Hmm.
going through it. So this dog makes her happy, but like if it was up to him, he wouldn't want to have any more pets. So
Damn, I'm sorry, girl.
that fucking Pepper. So every time I see her, I'm like, "What's up, ugly girl? Ugly Pepper." My mom's like, "Well, why do you call her ugly?" I'm like, "Cause she is." Like, I don't mean to sound petty, but like this fucking
Yeah,
dog comes between your
yeah,
relationship
that's a problem.
with your grandkids. So that's my vent.
That's
Mom, dad, if you're listening to this, fuck Pepper.
I don't think she's gonna listen in. Hopefully not.
We'll see. If she does, I don't give a fuck.
Dang, girl. Amaris is on one today.
I am. I literally told Abe, I was like, I don't know which me is coming out in today's recording, competent me or petty me. He's like,
Mhm.
wow, well, you enjoy that.
That's so funny.
But yeah.
Um, what was I good? Oh, okay. So I wanted to go back to you had mentioned that growing up, you grew around your cousins, right?
Yes.
As did I. Like, so that's like the whole like going back to the village thing.
Right.
When I was growing up, I was always going to someone's house. I had cousins
Yes.
around me. People were coming over. What happened
I know.
throughout the years that this generation we're so lonely and we don't have that village anymore?
Right. I don't know.
Do you
Sometimes I think,
know?
is it like, do
People live
we
closer.
that,
Sorry.
yeah, because my
Yeah,
cousins were like all, scattered in
that's
Jersey.
the
So
thing.
it's
Yeah.
like we're all scattered, so it's hard to get together with each other. We were
Hmm.
all like figuring out like how, like, where we were living as adults, building our relationship with like our significant
Yeah.
others.
That's
And
that's the thing.
yeah, and I think now that like we're all pretty much like having kids, I think
Hmm.
they like want that. They all want to like hang out and like have our kids like grow up with each other. But it's just hard because like you're busy, I'm busy. We will literally have to plan to travel to
I know.
said location, you know.
It's
But
so hard.
but are,
Hmm.
aren't your cousins like close, like in the Hudson County area, Bergen County area?
Not anymore. Everyone's kind of scattered out
Oh,
throughout the
okay.
state.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. And then we're like a million miles apart
I
from
know.
each other. Um, that makes me sad because I wish that the kids would, see each other more often. Like how, I was with Abraham and Angel. Like we
Hmm.
saw each other like
Wasn't it like
every
every
week,
weekend? Yeah, every week you
every
guys were
week,
over some
every week.
each other's
Yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah. That's how it was. Like we literally grew up together.
Right.
But yeah, we just got to make the most out of it, I guess, and quality.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep telling myself like, okay, fall's coming around. I need to schedule time with you guys to go to like a farm or
Oh yeah,
something.
we will do
Out.
that. I did bring
Yeah.
that up to Blue. We'll
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah, I told us Abe, he was like, yes, yes, we need to do that. So we just have to find a mutual place. Oh,
I'll do research.
yeah,
Maybe Princeton area.
maybe.
That's kind of it's
Maybe
kind
they
of
might
like in
have
the middle.
something. I went somewhere last year with Abe's older siblings, and that place was nice. It wasn't crowded because that's like the number one thing people like
Yeah.
complain about. It's crowded. This place was not crowded at all, which was nice.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
I need to figure out where it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would we do pumpkin picking or apple picking? I don't know.
that
Apple.
both. That the place that I'm
Okay.
talking about does both.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was really nice. It was really nice.
Okay.
So I have
Well,
to
that's
figure that out
okay.
where that was.
We'll work on that.
Yeah,
Let's shoot for like the month of
October, right?
October.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
before
Be
Halloween, right?
before. Yeah.
Yeah, before Halloween. Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's definitely do that. But yeah,
Um.
I wish I was closer to like you guys,
Oh yeah. I would be at your
you
house
know?
like literally every day. I'm not even
Same,
exaggerating.
same,
Every day.
same. Yep.
That is a dream.
Yes. That
But
would be such a great blessing to have.
but I am moving to South Jersey, so
I know.
no. But
Listen.
I'm willing to move closer, but I am moving to South Jersey. I saw what I said.
That's like your brother. He was like, I'm never going back to South Jersey. Sorry, that's my alarm that says kids go to bed.
No hate on South Jersey. It's South Jersey.
It's not, I can understand it's not for you guys because you guys are more like city people. I don't like the city. I don't go
No,
into
we're
Philly.
not.
You're
We're not
not,
city people. Not
isn't
really. Not
Hudson
anymore.
Valley?
Really.
Oh, okay.
That's not city.
That's not, what's that?
No, that's like mountains and shit.
Oh.
That's what we like. Yeah, cities. Who's going to cities?
Oh my God. I like
No,
my
but it's
area.
just different. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think when I was living in Atlantic County, that was like, we're not living in Atlantic County. That's a whole different South
Oh,
Jersey.
that is, yeah,
That's like, no, thank
that's like
you.
Delaware.
Yeah.
No, no, oh my God. Here I am talking so much shit.
No
Don't say
shade.
no, no
No shade.
shit
It's
on
just
Delaware.
I need to be able to like have things. So I like that I'm in Camden County where a lot of things are
Yeah,
like it's
cut
beautiful.
that out.
Yeah.
Well, bleep it out. We don't need people knowing where you
I know.
live.
Let me turn on
But
my light
it
real
is a
quick.
nice town. It has
It,
everything.
it has everything and I
I
love
will
it.
say that.
I love
And
it.
you're close to Philly.
Very close to Philly. Oh, very close. But like I don't go into Philly because
Bro, Philly's rough.
you gotta like plan for that
You got no
too.
business. Sorry, again, no fuck. Here I go again. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I used to like Philly. So when I
Mm,
worked in property management, there was a property there that I used to work at sometimes because our company was taking over a building there and they needed, help, whatever. And I really grew to like Philly. Like it definitely has its, pockets.
right.
But after the pandemic, I don't know, it's I don't know, it went through some stuff. Just like the
Really?
crime and
Oh
the
yeah.
drugs. It's just
Mm,
it's not the same.
yeah. Well, I was never interested in like Philly. I remember the first job I like worked at, we were interviewing this lady and she was like, I am done taking the train at 6 a.m. and all I smell is pee. Pee everywhere, drunk people sleeping on the train. Like I'm just done looking at that. I've been
Disgusting.
doing it for years. And she's like, I'm a grown woman. I think she was like 45 at the time. She was,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, you're not supposed to say your age during like interviews. That's, not good. But she was like, I'm a 45-year-old woman. I do not need to be dealing with this. And I was like,
Yeah,
respect that. I
yeah.
respect that.
But also too, like Eagles fans are so rowdy. I've
They
heard.
are diehard Eagles fans. You can't tell them shit. You
Yeah,
can't tell
and a
them
lot of
nothing.
and South Jersey, a lot of the fans are Eagle fans,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. They are diehard Eagles fans. I would never
They
forget the
are.
day I was a sophomore in college and I was wearing my Giants jersey to a pizza just to pick a pizza. And some guy was like, I don't know if he was the owner, but the person that was working but behind the counter, older, probably my dad's age at the time. And he
Yeah.
said, oh, there's no Giants allowed in my store. Ha 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 ha. Don't you know
Oh
you're an
my God.
Eagles
Yeah, that's how they
fan
hear.
base? And I'm just like, ha. Like
I'm just wearing my
I
shirt.
go to Rowan University. I'm actually from North Jersey, Hudson County, everywhere. So it kind of makes sense why I'm wearing
Mhm.
a Giants jersey. He's like, I'm just messing with y'all, but you do know your team sucks. I'm like, yeah, sure, there sucks. Can I get a pepperoni slice pizza? Thank you.
I think that's like the biggest like rivalry between North and South
Oh,
Jersey,
I'm sure.
or the sports teams. So
Yeah, I'm sure. So I don't tell. I'm like I'm not a football fan. I don't watch football. If I have to pick, I'll just say go Eagles. Woo, go Eagles.
oh my God. So that's a blue. Oh my God. Is there anything else that we wanted to touch on?
I,
Social media.
social media.
Yeah. So something I wanted to talk about is how things are portrayed on social media. Like
Oh yeah,
these
it's fake.
these mom accounts, how are you put together so nicely every single day and
Right.
your houses are so clean. Like
Mm-hmm.
for a while, I'm not gonna lie, like I had a hard time scrolling through these pages because I would compare myself to these moms.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that out loud, but yeah, like I would compare myself. Like, why don't I look this way? Why isn't my house clean? Why
Right.
this?
Mm-hmm.
So social media is like really toxic
Yeah.
sometimes.
It used to bother me a lot too until one day I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like you're only doing this for like views, like because you're a
Yeah.
content creator and you have
Hmm.
the check mark
That's
next to your
true.
name. You're only doing this for views. So
It's
you have
true.
this like mentality or anxiety that you need to have your house clean or else
Hmm.
you're gonna lose followers. Like that's your
Maybe.
which I respect it,
Hmm.
props to you, but I'm honest with people. I'm like, my house is dirty. Come in,
Yeah,
like
we
you
spoke
can't.
about that last
Yeah.
episode. We've established. the
Yeah. So it's
situation with
just
the
like,
cleaning.
whatever, it is what it is.
No, and I remember I had you remind me like a couple of times during postpartum because I would fall into a rabbit hole and I'd be like, Amaris, like, why is this girl like getting it all done? And you'd be like, because she gets help.
Right.
You
Yes.
remember?
That one, yeah, the one influencer that we follow,
Mm-hmm.
she gets help. She goes on weekly dates with her husband. I can't even
Mm-hmm.
get that. Can't even get a simple
I
conversation
haven't
with
gone
my
on a date
husband.
with Blue in a long time.
I know. We
Yeah.
haven't gone on a date for a while. Sunday when we go to this wedding, I'm like, this is date night for us. So make sure you look nice. You know, I would
Like,
like
you know,
her
it's fun.
to
I
take
really
pictures.
thought that wedding that we were invited to, like, I really thought it was this weekend.
That's hilarious.
I wasn't gonna go,
Oh,
but Blue was gonna go, and he was
mm.
gonna take Joelle. So we thought it was Friday. So here we are, like, oh, the wedding's on Friday. Wedding's on Friday. And I was like, you should look at the invitation, see where it's at. And he sent me a picture yet last night. And he's like, it's on October.
That's
So
great.
I guess I'm going.
Yeah, I think you should go. It would be a good time to get like dressed up,
Yeah,
dance.
yeah. I'll take it as like a date opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, look at the time. We've been like talking for like almost an hour.
I know. I do feel like I went on like this tangent about my sister, which at
No,
the
but it
end of
was
the day,
good. It
I
was
still
good.
love you, girl. I still love you, but like
You just wish the
pick up the pace or
relationship was
something.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to leave off with a question or end the episode on a
Okay.
question. So what I want to know from other people, if you have little to no village, how do you make it work for you and your family so that you don't feel like you're drowning 24/7? And if you do have a village or you've created a village, where did you meet your village? Groups, a park? We want to know.
All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it was relatable to you. Just know that your feelings are validated, and we see you.
See you next time. Bye.
See you next time, guys. Bye.